so funny story. Jason said that when Michelle asked him, he said yes, and he told me, I'm not bringing you. And then when Michelle asked me, I looked at him, and we had this little funny saying we say to each other. I looked at him and I said, suck it up, princess, I'm going to do this. I guess now I need to tell myself to suck it up, princess, because that was a little bit emotional. So, how is everybody? It is an absolute honor to be here this morning and to share my story and thoughts with such an esteemed group. And when all the survivors stand up, you realize it does hit, and you look around and there's someone in your crowd that has a story to share, and it is an honor to be able to share mine. It's still amazing to me that I actually have a breast cancer story to share, as I am sure it is to all of us survivors and all of our families and friends. It's not something I ever thought I would be speaking in public about, but here I am. So, and I'm very happy to be here, and as I said, it's an honor. Have you ever had one of those days where you just woke up happy, and I mean in the gut happy, excited, and happy from your head to your toes? Well, December 3rd, 2004 was just such a day. It was 6 a.m. Central Time, and I remember my eyes popping open, and I could feel the smile a mile wide on my face. My face actually hurt, like I had been smiling in my sleep all night long. It's not a bad way to wake up. I rolled over and saw my husband's face, and it was like looking in a mirror. It was a happy, happy day. Lots to do, but woohoo! It was moving day, with a capital M-O-V-I-N-G-D-A-Y. We were leaving Corpus Christi, Texas, behind and coming back to Albany, New York. The Northeast, family, trees, seasons and snow, and all those Northeast colors and smells. I could not wait. Texas was just not my place. I have to admit it was a bit nerve-wracking. Moving is a big pain, but this was going to be a really big pain. Jason was going to be starting a new job in a bigger TV market. I had resigned my teaching position, which I had grown to love. My students were absolutely amazing. But I had a line on a teaching job in Bethlehem, so I was feeling pretty good. All in all, a pretty good big pain. Anyway, we popped out of bed, ate a quick bite, and continued packing up the house. We still had a bunch to do, even though the movers would be there shortly. You know that feeling when every time you catch sight of yourself and there's a big smile on your face, like you've got some big happy secret that nobody else knows? That's exactly how I felt, full of joy, relief, and laughter. It was so nice knowing that we were going to be giving my dad a great present, us. We called my dad around 8 to wish him a happy 64th birthday. That was another woo-hoo moment. Really, what could be a better present than knowing that there would no longer be 2,000 miles between us and our families? There's not much better than that. We then called my mom and told her, woo-hoo, we're coming home, and it was nice to say, we'll see you soon, instead of talk to you later. Little did I know that our homecoming would take a slightly different turn. About 11:30, it started to change up a little bit. The movers were really fabulous and fast. I could barely keep up with them. As soon as I would get something packed and labeled, they would take it right out to the truck. Jason went out to get lunch for all of us, and I holed up in the bedroom to get all of the little things packed up. I still couldn't stop smiling. My cell phone started to ring, and I didn't recognize the number. But then I remembered that my doctor was calling me with my biopsy results. Did I forget to mention that just a couple days before I'd had a surgical biopsy on my right breast? Didn't even cross my mind that I would have anything to worry about, especially with all the excitement and craziness of getting ready to move. I mean, really, it was a woo-hoo day all around. We were going home. Here's a snapshot of that moment. And I know for those of us who get those phone calls, whether it is from a doctor about yourself or from a family or friend about a loved one, it is a snapshot. One of those moments in time that seem to be one step behind and quite clear in your mind. Not quite slow motion, but almost. So here's my picture. Boxes everywhere, no paper or pens or pencils in sight, not even an eyeliner. Movers in and out of the room, me bopping around packing, Tyson and Maxie hiding out with our cat and dog, and Jason was still out getting lunch. Now here's my conversation. Me, hello, Dr. F, hello, is this Jennifer? Hey, Dr. F, how are you? Good. Can you come in today and talk about your results? Nope. The movers are here and we are busy packing, remember? We had decided at my last appointment that we would have a phone conversation, even though we hadn't wanted to. I told them the movers would be there and it would have to be a phone conversation. "Well, I'd really like to talk to you and Jason." I said, "Well, he's not here right now, and he's leaving tonight, so we really can't come in." And he said, "Okay. Well, I didn't think I would be calling you with this, but your pathology came back, and you have a high-grade malignancy." I mean, what do you say to that? To be honest, I don't clearly remember the rest of the conversation, only bits and pieces. You know that Far Side cartoon where that man's talking to his dog, Ginger? He's looking at his dog and talking about being good, basically giving the dog a little doggy lecture. The dog's looking up and all the dog is hearing is blah, 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 Ginger, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's what I was hearing. I heard blah, 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 staging, blah, blah, blah. And I said, "Well, wait. Dr. F, my school doesn't have a stage. We have a cafetorium where the kids can perform, but we don't have a stage." I don't think I've ever heard a silence like that before. There was kind of a, "Jennifer, I'm not talking about performing." He quickly pointed out that I wasn't going to be putting on a school play. After that, the cobwebs started to clear. Time started to speed up. Jason walked in on the conversation, and I just handed him the phone. After that initial stunned moment passed, we realized we had some calls to make. How do you call up your dad, again, on his birthday, to tell him such unbirthday news? How do you call your mom, who's just the best? How do you call anyone to tell them? But you do. You just do. That is one thing that being diagnosed with cancer teaches us, that you just do. You put one foot in front of the other, and just do. You make the calls, you make the appointments, and you continue on with your life. At least that is what Jason and I decided to do. We finished packing thanks to some incredible movers. We left our home on Padre Island and went to our friend's house, where I was going to stay for the next few days. Jason and I said goodbye, and he took the dog and cat and drove out of Corpus Christi. I was going to fly home in a few days and meet him in Albany. A bit crazy, but we decided to keep things as normal as possible, while at the same time trying to understand that our definition of normal was drastically changing. I wrapped things up in Corpus Christi. I was originally going to stay for another 2 weeks, but was quickly convinced to stay for only 5 more days. That didn't give me much time to gather my medical records, to say goodbye to my friends and colleagues, and most of all to my students. My wonderful 4th graders whom I had taught since they were in 3rd grade. That was, I think, probably the most horrendous moment. But with the help of those same friends and colleagues and my students, I was able to say goodbye and leave knowing that I had the support and prayers of many wonderful and special people. And when I arrived here, I hit the ground running, as they say. What followed is a familiar story to those of you in this room. Doctor's appointments, who can count them, surgeries, chemo, radiation. Of course, there was the bald head, the weight gain, and the many other moments that become imprinted on your brain. Who can forget their first chemo? AC, the gold standard of chemo in 2005? Adriamycin with its bright red color that just screams, danger, danger, danger. Most animals in nature, they would bypass those red berries and try something else. And of course the Cytoxin, looking up and seeing that bag being wheeled toward you with its big old skull and crossbones stamped on the side. Oh my. You get through it with the help of your friends and family. And of course the amazing team of doctors and nurses. My team was amazing, and I always felt I was their only patient. Dr. Charles Weissman, oncologist extraordinaire, is my hero. I could ask him anything and trust him with anything, and I did. And here I am, so thank you, Dr. Weissman. Dr. Pietrocola was my surgeon, and she has a huge heart. I woke up from my lumpectomy, and she was stroking my hair, waiting to tell me that I didn't need a drain, which was something I had been incredibly anxious about. I remember when I finally was able to remove my bandages, and I was brave enough to look at her handiwork and examine the girls, I saw they were a bit cockeyed. So I decided that when I went in for my checkup, I would ask her why she just couldn't lift the other ones so they were even. But I looked again and thought, well, damn, I am standing here with 2 boobs, and whether the girls are there, not there, or a bit cockeyed, what remains is a reminder of what we have been through, and the strength, the resilience, and courage it takes to become a breast cancer champion. Because that's what we are, champions. We are not simply survivors and warriors. We are more. We have fought a battle and won. We got knocked down, felt weighed down, tired mentally and physically, but got back up and persevered. You have only to look in the mirror to see the face of a champion. That's what I see when I stand in Washington Park every October. I see champions in pink surrounded by their teams, the teams that help them get back up and keep going, teams that are supported by the work of the American Cancer Society, especially our amazing local chapter. The help that ACS offers on so many levels is invaluable. I remember the literature and pamphlets I received, the helpful responses when I called with questions, not to mention the money that is given to support the wonderful research done here right in our community. With the help of ACS and our teams and ourselves, we will continue to be champions and will see this disease cured. There is a great breakup song by Christina Aguilera called Fighter. It became and still is one of my theme songs. And I say one because Jason would sing to me to get me out of bed when I wanted nothing more than to stay there and not go to work. He is the best of men. And believe me, neither one of us sings very well. So Christina may be singing about breaking up with a guy, but hey, why not break up with cancer? Whenever I was feeling super tired and quite literally tired of feeling tired, I would listen to that song and tell myself I was breaking up with cancer. Here's the part of the song that I really hung on to, and I promise I won't sing it. You probably think that I hold resentment for you, but oh no, you're wrong. Because if it wasn't for all that you tried to do, I wouldn't know just how capable I am to pull through. So I want to say thank you. Because it makes me that much stronger, makes me work a little bit harder, makes me that much wiser, so thanks for making me a fighter. Made me learn a little bit faster, made my skin a little bit thicker, makes me that much smarter, so thanks for making me a fighter. So breast cancer champions, here's to the many woo-hoo moments in our lives. Here's to all of you, to all of us, survivors, warriors, fighters, and yes, champions in body, mind, and spirit. Thank you.
Understandably, this has been a very emotional thing for you, and he even warned me beforehand. He said, I'm going to run out of here like a scared cat.
All right, thank God. Back to work.
Jennifer just said, she goes, someone tell Jason he can come back.